This is a classier kind of crime. The Kortz Center. Never been hit before. State-of-the-art tech. Deadly lasers. Your specialty, basically.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Ninsky. And in this video today, guys, I'm going to be demonstrating to you how what we've been researching is yet again being referenced, because once again, this is part of the source material and the universal clues that we've been demonstrating on my channel. So I'm just doing a mission prep now for the new Kortz Center DLC heist, and this is for the street weapons mission. If you do the street weapons mission, they'll send you to this auto shop where outside you have the two cars from Fast and the Furious. There's also cars inside, which I'll take you to in just a second, that also reference the movie. So now that we're inside the workshop, as you can see, we have more vehicles from the film Fast and Furious, such as Dom's Charger. So my question is how is it possible that I was talking about Fast and the Furious only 2 months ago for them to then reference this film in a new DLC? Did I just get lucky? Or is this just, something that Rockstar wanted to reference because GTA 6 is referencing Fast and Furious as well? Or is this, what we're saying, a pattern? So now I'm doing another setup mission for the Kortz Heist DLC, and this is where you steal the bikes as your getaway vehicle. Now, I ask you, what colors do you see, and what colors has Wispy been talking about from 10 years ago and that I've reintroduced onto my channel for the last year, that being the colors of red, gold, and green, and also epsilon blue. This is not a coincidence, and I'm going to prove it to you right now by showing you something that they gave us in story mode. Alright, so as I said, in story mode, they represent the colors of red, gold, and green within the story mode, and even the same color of the blue, or epsilon blue. So this is something that Rockstar hinted at within story mode, which was 13 years ago, and they're still hinting at it today within the Kortz Center Heist DLC. Interesting. Alrighty, so before we delve deep into this, and we are going to delve deep into this in this video, we need to have a look at the background or the making of Mr. Faber within GTA 5. Now, this information is coming from the GTA Wiki, so we can consider it to be pretty reliable. But again, for those of you who aren't really up to date with Grand Theft Auto Online, Mr. Faber is the one that is introducing us into this new DLC heist. But something that is interesting about this character, there's actually quite a few things that is interesting about him. But the thing I wanted to mention today was that his initial name was actually going to be this name here, and I don't know if it's pronounced Ways or Wise, but essentially this was like his character model name. Yeah, it's actually, I'm pointing at the wrong thing. Internally the character model was named Ways, right? So I just want you to keep this in your mind, because this is going to come up later in the video and it's going to prove my point. So with the introduction of the Kortz Center DLC, there was a lot of things that we can talk about in this video, namely these paintings, and we are going to do that a little bit, but I don't want this video to go on for too long or divert too much off the real path of what it is that I actually want to talk about today. But there are some relevant things within these photos that we can talk about that bring up relevance to things that we've talked about in the past. Namely, the first painting that we see here being this rabbit in a pool, which a lot of people have actually, once again, misconstrued it to think that this is a reference to a glitch that happened in the game. Yes, that is true, fair enough. But if we dig a little bit deeper, we will find that this painting was actually referenced in an animated TV show. An animated TV show called BoJack Horseman, which stars Aaron Paul as this character here. I think his name is Chavez. And then we have, obviously, references to older GTA games, such as the downfall of Rome being the ending of GTA 4, when Roman is shot and Nico is a witness to it. Now, this is interesting to me because, obviously, yes, it's a GTA 4 reference, but they've told us before that the universes are segregated. So it's just interesting to me that older GTA games, although they're meant to be separate from this universe, are being painted or referenced to through a painting. And it's not the only painting that references past GTA characters. But before we move on to that one, I want to point out the next painting's name, and that is Brother, Brother. This is something that the Epsilon say to each other. And it's interesting that these people are wearing the Epsilon blue. Going further down the list, we have what I was just talking about being a painting that references old GTA characters such as CJ. So what is CJ doing in a painting in the 3D universe? The HD universe, when he belongs to the 3D universe, right? If CJ is not meant to exist in this universe, why is he in this painting? Now, to me, yes, you can say it's just a reference, but it's something that Rockstar are turning a blind eye to when it comes to what they're telling their consumers. That being that the universes are separate. So why is CJ here in the HD universe? Interesting. Now, going further through the list, and this is obviously a reference to the TV show Princess Bubblegum, or Bubblegum Princess, whatever it is within the GTA universe. But once again, I want to point out the name of this painting being True Love, and a film that I showed you in my last video being True Romance. So is this a reference to a film that I referenced before this DLC came out? Possibly. Going further down, we can even see things such as I Hear Voices, right? This is a reference to I See Dead People. You have to understand the parodies and the wordplay. The girl with the pearl necklace. This is a reference to the girl with the dragon tattoo. But what I wanted to show you, other than these significant names and even aspects of things that we've talked about before, is a painting called Juiced. Now, this is obviously Mount Chiliad, and it's very clever for them to have put this cutout showing us the shape of a suit, okay? But understand, we're talking about a big O. An O in a suit. Or perhaps even a double O. Or a 007.
I want you to talk about women.
Oh, I enjoy women. A woman could trust me, as long as her interest didn't run too contrary to my own.
This painting is worth $100 million.
They shut off the air to drive out the tourists. Then they close the gates to keep everybody out. Diversion. Make a lot of noise over there. So over here in this room, you can take $100 million off the wall and waltz right out the front door. Oh, that's good.
Oh, yes.
Now, what I just showed you was a snippet or a trailer for the film The Thomas Crown Affair, starring Pierce Brosnan, or our boy James Bond. Understand that this film is relevant, and it's not something that I'm just connecting because of a James Bond connection, but because of a physical reference that I just showed you, and that being the variant film poster that this film was featured with. Ain't that some shit? So I want you guys to understand that everything I do in my videos, I do for reasons and to help you. Over a month ago, I made this video, and I made a specific conscious decision to place Pierce Brosnan in this trailer and make it transition to the answer. And that answer being, once again, Aaron Paul. And the reason why I made this connection for you is to understand that they are connected. And it's looking up from a long way down. So, one of the main features about this heist is obviously the laser room. Now, it's a pretty dope feature to add to a heist if you ask me, but there's a specific reason that I believe Rockstar added this as to more than just a challenge for us to get through. I believe that this is a reference to a film, and that film being Entrapment. Now, this is a film, again, about two heisters that are going to steal art from a museum, and they have these lasers set up in their heist room as training for Catherine Zeta-Jones to pass through, while our boy Sean Connery, or yet again another JB or James Bond, helps her. So understand that, again, this is not a film that I'm just pulling out of thin air. We're here because JB or James Bond brought us here. So what we're going to do here is understand how a relevant clue, that being Mr. Timothy Dalton, who played James Bond, but also was the antagonist in the relevant film The Rocketeer, we are going to understand that we've analyzed and we've understood through the mirror parodies. We've understood that. So what we're going to do now is understand another parody within the parody, and that being Johnny English, a James Bond parody, but not for the relevancy of this film, but for who this man is known for playing and what he did within his film, that being Mr. Bean, and how he was responsible for destroying a precious artwork and was then forced to steal it. Have we ever wondered or even bothered to ask why they gave us these coffee shops and why they named them the Bean Machine? And you guys want to know how I know that this shit is not bullshit and that we are indeed on the right path? I need you guys to understand these connections and understand them well. And I need you to know your references, because this shit is relevant. Taking it a step further, I want you to understand supporting actors such as this man and his role within the film Ghostbusters 2, and how many Easter eggs and whatnot throughout GTA's games, that being mainly Ghost, or even exposing the truth within the Ghostbusters DLCs. This man was enforced to protect this painting within this film. Interesting. But originally, going back again to what brought us here, that being the Thomas Crown affair, I need you guys to understand what I said before, and that is how parodies or even twins are relevant. Now, this film was a remake of an older 1968 film starring Steve McQueen, being the Thomas Crown affair. Now, still, Steve McQueen is quite interesting for a couple of things that he's done. One of his more prominent movies being the film Bullet. Now, I will show you here in just a second the film Bullet, once my slow internet catches up, but you'll see it here. Now, this is relevant where he played Detective Frank Bullet, because a bullet has been made really extremely relevant now that I've looked back into it since GTA San Andreas, in fact. So this is the Bullet supercar, and it has been featured within Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, The Ballad of Gay Tony, Grand Theft Auto 5, and GTA Online. This car is also designed closely resembling the Ford GT. So, understanding that a bullet is what brought us here, we can now understand the car that Steve McQueen drives in this, that being the Ford Mustang GT. But that's neither here nor there. What is relevant is the portal, and that is a co-star within this film being Robert Duvall. Now, this is someone that I've brought up in my previous videos for GTA 6's character being Jason Duvall, and them sharing the same surname. But I want you to understand what I told you to remember at the start of this video, and that was the name Wise. Interesting. So once again, you guys can take this with a grain of salt. You can call it bullshit. You can do whatever you want. But I need you guys to understand and realize that this is the truth. And no matter how you look at it, these things are relevant. And we've been telling you that they're relevant. Not only did this man star in the film Colors in 1988, but he also featured in the film Gone in 60 Seconds, another reference within GTA 5. But the last film that he featured in before he passed away was called The Pale Blue Eye, and it featured Christian Bale, or otherwise known to be Batman, directed by another great Scott. The Pale Blue Eye, just like the Penrith building. Spread the truth.
Well, before we get to that, we just wanted to ask you one question.
What is that?
How'd you do it?
Oh, so that's why you came. You want to know. Well, I guess that's normal. But I got another deal for you. You both recognize that I'm the best, and I'll tell you my secret.
Yeah.
That, you get him to tell us, and tell him that he is the best.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna tell him.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll tell you you're the best after you tell us how you did it.
Hey, how can I refuse a dying man's last request? The egg arrived in Rome at 6:45 p.m. the Saturday before it went on display.
It was at the museum by 8 p.m.
Hold on. You stole it that evening? With the museum locked down for the night? How'd you even get in the building? How'd you get past the ground sensors? Why did my recon team see it?
Don't touch my thing.
I didn't touch your
Don't
thing.
get your hand off of it.
Like it works anyway.
You
like
got
it
greasy
works
hands and
anyway.
you just put
Can
them
you?
on my
What can you
lens and now I
see?
can't see.
You can't see anything.
I see
it
you.
Doesn't
You look
work.
like a retard.
It's
Look,
ridiculous.
this is
you
what
look
you
like
did.
a retard.
This is what you did.
I'll pay you
You
$1
put your
million
hands on
if you
that.
don't
Now you
speak for a
greased
month.
it up.
1 month, I'll give you $1 million if you don't speak for a whole month.
I
How
want
about
to
that?
eat your whole head. I want you
Go ahead.
Just
Go ahead. Go ahead. $1 million. No joke.
Right, with no equipment, no rope.
Well, of course. Come on. Don't tell me you don't know how to do that.
How did you get by the laser field in the Great Hall?
Aha. The laser fields. Well.